is All India Radio. You will now hear comments from the press. The Financial Express in its editorial titled GST on a Better Footing augurs well for direct taxes says the fact that GST collections for March 2019 touched rupees 1.14 lakh crore, up 10% over than in the same month a year ago, augurs well for the future. There is little doubt, though, that there are several one-offs that have boosted the performance, the best since India first started collecting GST in July 2017. There is, for example, the quarter-end bump that is seen regularly. March 2019 collections were the highest in the previous 3 months, December 2018 in the 3 months prior to that, September 2018 in the 3 months prior to that, etc. This could have to do with the fact that firms try to boost sales before the quarter ends, or the fact that the smaller firms have to file their GST returns every 3 months. There is also the year-end effect where, apart from trying to boost sales, firms work hard to ensure that all vendors upload their GST returns so that they can avail input tax credits. This time around, the impact was even higher, since March 2019 was the last month to claim tax credits for 2017-18. With more firms filing GST returns, the number of filings is up from 5.9 million in July 2017 to 6 million in March 2018 to 7.2 million in March 2019. With March 2019's collection the highest ever, this means monthly collections in FY19 were on average 7% more than those in FY18, and the figure is 13% higher when you compare the January to March 2019 collections with those in January to March 2018. The two main reasons for the increase in collections and compliance suggest the system is stabilizing. For one, as the growth in the number of filings show, big firms are clearly ensuring their vendor base is fully GST compliant. The fact that the e-way bill has become compulsory for transporting goods of over a certain amount has also played a big role in raising compliance. Greater GST compliance will also help raise both corporate as well as personal income tax collections, as once firms have no option but to declare their actual turnover to GST authorities, they will have to do so for the income tax authorities as well. Indeed, last week, the income tax and GST authorities signed an information sharing agreement for precisely this reason of boosting income tax collections. This is important because there has been a contraction, albeit a small one, in the number of e-returns filed for personal income tax in FY19 after averaging more than 25% over the 3 years prior to this. Indeed, when you compare the number of actual tax filings to the number of registered taxpayers, the ratio is down to 79.1%, a number not seen in the last 5 to 6 years. It is due to this that direct tax collections fell short of projections for FY19 by as much as 50,000 crore. All of this was in personal income taxes, since there was no shortfall in corporate taxes. The Hindu, in its editorial title Surviving Foni, writes, Cyclone Foni has left a trail of destruction across a large part of coastal Odisha, but its management has emerged as a global example of how timely weather alerts, preparedness, and informed public participation can dramatically reduce loss of life. The toll from the extremely severe cyclonic storm on May 3rd stood at last count at 34 deaths. In terms of material losses, several districts were battered, houses flattened, and electricity and telecommunications infrastructure destroyed, but the relatively low mortality shows a dramatic transformation from the loss of over 10,000 lives in 1999 when Super Cyclone 05B struck. Odisha then worked to upgrade its preparedness, which was tested when very severe cyclonic storm Falin struck in 2013. It was able to bring down the number deaths to 44 then, in spite of a wide arc of destruction. 13 million people were hit and 500,000 houses destroyed. The Odisha government and the centre now have the task of rebuilding infrastructure. They should use the opportunity to upgrade technology, achieve cost efficiencies, and build resilience to extreme weather, all of which can minimize future losses. The priority in Odisha is to restore electricity and telecommunications, which will require massive manpower. This should be treated as a national mission. Public health interventions are paramount to avoid disease outbreaks. The state government has been able to restore some physical movement by opening up highways and district roads. The paper writes preparedness has to focus on building resilience and strengthening adaptation. Those were the comments from the press presented to you by the News Services Division of All